Ever since I was little, I've been fascinated by abandoned places. I love photographing decrepit old buildings and wondering about the history behind them. Most of my friends never understood my strange obsession. They all said I was going to get myself hurt or arrested one day messing around with places I shouldn't. I always shrugged them off, until the night I decided to sneak into the notorious abandoned warehouse on the outskirts of town. The warehouse had been empty for decades, as far back as anyone could remember. There were all kinds of creepy urban legends about it. Satanic rituals, murders, and ghosts. For years I dreamed of getting inside to take photos and see it for myself. The chain-link fence topped with barbed wire that surrounded the massive property only made it more tempting. Finally, one night, my curiosity won out. It was well past midnight when I cut a hole in the fence using some bolt cutters. The full moon cast an eerie glow on the long empty parking lot. Taking a deep breath to calm my nerves, I crept around to find a way inside. Most of the windows and doors at ground level were boarded up tight, but after circling the gloomy, silently looming building, I found a gaping hole smashed through a basement window big enough to crawl through. Gripping my camera, I wriggled through the opening and dropped down into the inky blackness within. My small flashlight did little to cut through the heavy shadows inside. As I tiptoed carefully through dust-blanketed rooms full of debris, I had the uneasy sense of being watched. Likely just birds or rodents up in the rafters, I told myself. But I couldn't shake the prickling fear of unseen eyes tracking my every move. I made my way upstairs to the main warehouse floor, marveling at the towering shelves and heavy machinery left to decay. Moonlight streamed through broken windows to illuminate my path as I wandered, snapping photos of the eerie sight, until I came across something that made my blood run cold. There in the center of the vast room, someone had carefully arranged a circle of burnt-out black candles, surrounded by strange painted symbols. Jumbled animal bones and rotting food scraps lay in the middle, along with shreds of cloth that looked disturbingly like blood-stained children's clothes. I stood paralyzed, heart pounding. Had I stumbled onto the scene of some twisted ritual? My instincts screamed to get out before whoever was behind this returned. I turned to run but froze at the sound of another set of slow, heavy footsteps, creeping across the debris-littered floor somewhere in the cavernous building. Adrenaline flooding my veins, I ducked behind a rusted conveyor belt, praying whoever was here hadn't spotted me. The ominous footsteps grew louder, accompanied by the flickering glow of a flashlight shining through the ruined machinery. As they paused nearby, I could hear someone muttering under their breath, on the edge of deranged laughter. Every nerve in my body shrieked at me to make a break for the nearest exit before they discovered me. Peering around the conveyor, I could see the shadowy figure stopped by the occult shrine, its back thankfully turned in my direction. Saying a silent prayer, I bolted on trembling legs for the window I had crawled through earlier. I escaped the warehouse by the skin of my teeth, leaving the place far more horrifying than any ghost story. I blocked off the traumatic night from my memory as best I could, but it forever cured my reckless thirst for urban exploration. Because sometimes nightmares disguised as adventure can break far more than the law. They can damage your very soul, piece by piece.